Hello and welcome to the library drawing party. We're so excited to have you here. Today we're going to be drawing a seascape. So as you can see, we have a sand dune and then the ocean, or this could even be a lake. So our main goal for today is blending. You're going to be doing a lot of blending, especially for the water and for the sky. But before we do that, let's start outlining some of the vegetation that's growing on the sand dune. So we don't need to sketch as much as we did for our last drawing, but we do want to get the approximate edge of the beach. And we also want to get this horizon line. So the horizon line is a little above halfway on our piece of paper. Let's say it's about there. And again, today I'm going to be using a thicker pencil so that you can see at home, but go ahead and use a regular number 2 pencil. That will work out great. Okay, so let's draw the edge of our seascape. So this piece here comes up further than the horizon line. And there's a lot of S shapes going on here, so let's try and get some of those. And it doesn't have to be exact, we just want to get something so we have an idea of where to place things. So for this drawing, you're going to need a lot of blue. For starters, you'll need a light blue and a dark blue. But you can also add some greenish blues if you have them at home. You're going to need a light green and a dark green, a light brown and a dark brown, yellow, and then I like to use a gold, and you could try adding a sand color, but most importantly you're going to need white. So the white is used for the blending, which we'll get to in a minute. If you don't have colored pencils at home, you can use highlighters, markers, crayons. It's just going to be a little bit of different process, and you can also do it in grayscale. So for the vegetation, let's take the light green, and where I have this S shape, I'm going to go start drawing in the grasses. So the grasses follow this S shape that we just drew. And then there's one in the middle here too. And this doesn't have to be an exact measurement. We're just trying to get the feel of things. We also want to leave some white spaces so that we can blend. If you color everything in, it'll be difficult to blend the colors because there'll be less room for the color to take shape on the page. So just make sure that you don't fill it in entirely at this point. Okay, so we have some grass for our light green. Let's go in and add the dark green. I actually want this to be a little bit darker. When I drew this, I blended the sky first, and then it made it hard to get a nice deep dark color, which is what I was going for here. So I'm going to really bring out the dark right now. And our leaves are not going to be perfect. They're going to be all over. This kind of looks like our pom-pom from our bonsai tree. You want those sharp edges to show that the grass is going many different directions, and that it's pretty organic and freeform. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then let me go in and do this grass here. Okay, so let's add some of this brown. So we have some trees, so I'm using my light brown first. Makes like a Y shape here. And we got another branch in the background. And then it kind of comes around. This goes. And when I was drawing the sand dune, I noticed that there was a lot of darker sand up here. So when we do some of the sand and shading, we'll go in and add that. But right now I'm just trying to get our branches going. I'm going to add the dark brown to one side. So that we can still see the light brown color, but we get darker shade. Help emphasize that it's a little bit farther away. Okay, so let's put some brown up here to show that it went into the trees. And let's show some brown in the tree, because brown leaves aren't natural. They're not going to be just green. It's usually some yellow, some brown. Put some brown in the grass too. Okay, that's a pretty good start for our vegetation, so now let's work on our blending. So the first thing you're going to want to do is let's do the water. So then you'll take your light blue and you'll go across. Now if you remember from our last drawing party, the way that you want your pencil to go, you want it to be going in the direction that would naturally be occurring for the lines. So when you look at ocean or lake, the lines are generally going to be going the same way as the horizon line. So we want most of our lines to be going that direction. Although it's not going to be perfect, there might be some ways, so you can put some sideways lines to help break it up so it's not completely smooth. It depends on how smooth you want the water. This water in our scene is really calm, so we want it to be mostly going in a side-to-side direction. So then we want to add in our dark blue. Again, don't push all the way because then it will be difficult to add the white. And the white is what helps get it so smooth. We also want it to be a lightish color, and the more layers we put, the darker it's gonna get. Okay, so that's pretty good for our second layer. Let's take the white now. So you see when you add the white, it's not actually adding white color. What it's mostly doing is it's blending the colors. So it's not adding a new color, but it's taking the colors that you already have and blending them so that you get this nice smooth glassy effect, which is really helpful when you're trying to convey this peaceful lake or ocean scene. It does dull the color a little bit, but it's not going, you're not going to see white. So we'll go in and add some more colors to this. We might even want to add some of that green I have a nice turquoisey green. Some water has that nice turquoise color. Let's do that right now. Let's add some of that green. It helps tie in the vegetation too. Because when you look at water, it usually reflects whatever is around it. So if it's got this vegetation around it, it's probably going to have some of that green color in it. Okay, let's go back and do another layer of light blue. This time you can put the full force on it so we can start to get rid of all of that underlying white from the page. And since the colors have already started to blend together, when you added the white, it should make it nice and smooth right now. Okay, I'm almost done with my second coat of the light blue. So let's add some dark blue. We don't want to add it all over. You can see in the horizon line, we want that to be the darkest point because that's the furthest away from us. So it helps emphasize that distance to the viewer, because your eye is also drawn to the horizon line. And then we also have some of these waves in the back, or ripples. So we'll add a couple of lines of this dark blue, but we don't want it to be too much. And then there was a little bit darkness by the edge of the beach here. I think just emphasizes difference between the sand and the beach, so I'll add a little bit of that. And add a couple of waves, but I think that's good. That looks pretty solid. So now the next thing we're gonna wanna do is this little island in the background. So we'll take our light green, and we don't want it to be a straight line. We want it to have some bumps and hills. And then it fades out towards the end here. Okay, let's take our dark green and go over that. And this time you can press the full force. We don't need to blend. The ocean or lakes have so many colors in them, which is why we have so many layers of our colored pencil. You can even put a little brown if you want in it, in the horizon line. The other thing is you might want to keep it the dark blue so that the colors don't get too muddy to blend together. Alright, let's do the sky. So we'll do the light blue. Now, a trick that you can do is instead of holding the pencil the way you usually do it, you hold it like this so that you're getting the side of the pencil. And that helps give it a different texture, and you can also get a nice light base coat. And the sky, the clouds, are, a lot of times they're circular, so you might want to spin your color pencil in a circle so that it gets a circular effect. Okay, so we have some base coat. The white, again, is going to be very important for the sky because we want this to be really smooth too. We want most of the texture to be in the sand. Okay, now that we put some blue, we'll put some white, let's put some more blue. Again, let's do this side, the pencil. We want it to be really light, so we want this to be a nice, bright, sunny day. And I have this, it's kind of a cross between that turquoisey green that we've been using and the sky blue that we've been using, or the light blue. I'm going to add that in to help bring out the green without adding too much color, because we do really want to keep it light. We also want to separate the ocean or lake from the sky. Okay, let's put some more white. Now you can keep it as smooth or as textured as you want. For my second drawing, I'm liking the way that this texture is coming out because it's looking like clouds to me. But you can make it smoother. Like in my original, I made this guy a little bit smoother. Okay, now for the sand, we're going to take a yellow, and we're just going to go over all this white space that's left. And I'm again using the side of the pencil. You hold it a little bit differently because we want to get that edge. And we want the sand to be pretty uneven, because when you're looking at real sand, you see the dents of the footprints and just the way the waves hit it. Okay, let's take our light brown, and I'm going to start putting these curly cues in it. And that will give us some of that texture that we were talking about. And go all the way around with these curly cues. We want this to be really organic and natural. Okay, put some gold color. I'm just gonna do the edge of the pencil again, do the whole thing. I want to bring out that yellow without going overboard. We also want to think about how the waves are hitting it. So this would be the edge of the beach. So if the waves are hitting it, it would be like going like this. So if you have dents, like I have a line here and here, the waves would be rolling in that direction. So it makes sense. Okay. I also have this nice sand color. I want to add that too. Again, really bring out that yellow color. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Now what I want to do is again go back. This whole thing was darker. So I'm going to use the dark brown. I'm going to really just like emphasize these shadows that were by the vegetation. And since that's looking a little muddied to me, I want to add some of this light brown to help bring in that orangey yellowish color so that it doesn't come too gray. Okay, that looks good, but there's a lot of straight lines, and the beach is not going to be a straight line, so I'm going to go in and add a little bit more curly cues up here. And since we're using the light brown, if we go over the other colors, it's going to be fine. We have some dark browns, so that can really stand up to getting colored over. Okay, I'm going to take the dark brown and add a little curly cues too to give it some more variation. Again, make it look like people are just wandering through the waves, hit the beach. There's movement. Okay, there's also a little bit of shadow at the edge of the beach. Put in a little bit light brown. And do a little bit of this yellow again, especially towards the bottom. And maybe even some sand, blend it up a bit. Okay, and there you have it. That's your Seascape. Thank you for joining us on our library drawing party. We hope you enjoyed this, and please feel free to check out our other YouTube videos and all of the other cool programs we have going on in the Mercer County Library System Facebook and social media pages, and keep being creative.